story we're focusing on at this hour is the politics over the inauguration of the Ram Temple. The Pran Pratishtha ceremony is to take place in 12 days from now on the 22nd of January. We've seen several from the opposition quarters coming out and questioning and slamming the BJP of trying to make this a political gimmick as far as the inauguration is concerned. In the backdrop of all the opposition reactions that we are seeing as far as the politics over the Ram Temple goes, we had the Prime Minister come out and tell his cabinet colleagues on Friday that they must talk about the faith and about Astha. It should not be about aggression. Do not make unwarranted comments, do not speak out of turn was the message that the Prime Minister sent out to his cabinet colleagues, also asking them to ensure that there are no untoward instances of violence or anything else on the day of the Pran Pratishtha on Monday on 22nd of January. He told his cabinet colleagues to ensure that in each of their constituencies there is peace that is maintained. This is about the faith of thousands of devotees and that is what the day should be about, not about politics, was the clear message the Prime Minister sent out. It also is a message to all the opposition leaders who've been speaking out. But we had unfortunately both Mamata Banerjee and Congress's Kamal Nath come out and talk about the Ram Mandir, accuse the BJP of trying to gain political mileage ahead of the big Lok Sabha election battle. Listen in to those reactions.
देखिए सवाल क्या है, राम मंदिर सबका है तो सवाल खड़े करने का और कोई इसमें कहे कि श्रेय लेना चाहे। राम मंदिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जजमेंट के बाद इसकी शुरुआत हुई। भाजपा की सरकार थी तो उनकी जिम्मेदारी थी बनाना। राम मंदिर का पट्टा तो भाजपा के पास नहीं है ना, ये पूरे देश का है, सबका अधिकार है राम मंदिर पर।
কালকে আমায় জিজ্ঞেস করছিল রাম মন্দির নিয়ে আপনার কি বক্তব্য, যেন আর কোনো কাজ নেই, একটাই কাজ। আমি বললাম ধর্ম যার যার নিজের, উৎসব কিন্তু সবার। আমি সেই উৎসবে বিশ্বাস করি যে উৎসব সবাইকে নিয়ে চলে, সবাইকে নিয়ে কথা বলে, একতার কথা বলে। আপনারা করছেন করুন না, কে আপত্তি করেছে? আপনারা কোর্টের আন্ডারে করছেন, ইলেকশনের আগে একটা গিমিক শো করবেন বলে আমার কোনো আপত্তি নেই তো, কিন্তু তাই বলে অন্য সম্প্রদায়ের মানুষকে অবহেলা করা এটা কারো কাজ নয়। তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস যতদিন থাকবে, তৃণমূল কংগ্রেসের সরকার যতদিন থাকবে, আমি আপনাদের কাছে ওয়াদা করে যাচ্ছি, আমি আপনাদের কাছে শপথ করে যাচ্ছি, আমি আপনাদের ঈশ্বরের শপথ করে বলছি, আল্লাহর কসম খেয়ে বলছি, মনে রাখবেন আমি কোনোদিনও হিন্দু মুসলমান শিখ খ্রিস্টান তপশিলি আদিবাসীদের ভাগাভাগি করতে দেব না।
नहीं, मैं अपनी राय परसों ही बोला हूँ, फिर बार बार बोलता नहीं। मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके दिल्ली में ये कहा हूँ कि अपनी अपनी मर्जी जो श्रद्धा है वो जा सकते हैं, बाकी के लोग जिनको इनविटेशन आया है वो अपनी राय दे सकते हैं। अब मेरे को इनविटेशन आया, सोनिया गांधी जी को इनविटेशन आया, हम तय करेंगे अप्रोप्रिएट टाइम पे।
We've heard the political reactions coming in from the opposition quarters. We've seen several of them come out, make controversial comments, or better yet, come out and accuse the BJP of trying to use this to gain political mileage. The Prime Minister at such a time coming out and sending a message within closed doors as far as the cabinet meeting was concerned on Friday, where the Prime Minister said that the Pran Pratishtha ceremony of 22nd of January is about the Astha and the faith of devotees. It's not about politics, it's not about aggression, and that's really what it should be about. So this is the message that the BJP leaders were sent out with. That's the message they need to carry to their constituencies in the run-up to 22nd January. We're 12 days away from that Pran Pratishtha ceremony to take place. Ayodhya is of course decked up. We've seen the kind of celebrations that have already broken out in different parts of the country as we prepare for that big day. The political war of words meanwhile continues because it is election year. We are a few months away from the big battle for 2024, for the big Lok Sabha electoral battle. The opposition bloc, which is the India Alliance versus the BJP, is locked in a bitter battle, and we're seeing the Prime Minister there ensuring that the Ram Mandir does not become an issue of political war of words. That's really the message that has come to the fore from the Prime Minister as far as the Pran Pratishtha of the Grand Ram Temple in Ayodhya is concerned. We had several leaders from the opposition, including the Samajwadi Party, the JDU, the RJD as well, who came out and made controversial comments as far as the Ram Temple went. We also then have Congress leaders and former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Kamal Nath today, who came out and said that this is not the BJP's monopoly. It's not the only one. It's not the only party that has been working for this. It was in fact on the directions of the Supreme Court that the Ram Temple is being built, is being created, and the BJP must not use this for their political gains. That's the kind of messaging perhaps that the Prime Minister wants to avoid as well, which is why he came out with a diktat to his cabinet colleagues where he said that this is about Ram Temple, which is a victory of faith. It's that of the devotion of Indians and all those NRIs who've been waiting for this big day. It's a culmination of a decades-old legal battle, and that is really what it should be looked at as, nothing political. Payal, my colleague, now joining me, getting much more perspective on this. Payal, this message was sent out by the Prime Minister to his cabinet colleagues, but it also comes at a time when leaders within the opposition ranks have been raising questions. So a message being sent to his rivals also perhaps.
Yes, the Prime Minister came up with this set of instructions at a very crucial juncture, given the fact that you see a lot of politics happening over the entire matter. You've seen people question the Prime Minister going to the Ram Temple consecration, essentially asking why should the government functionary really go there as well. So the Prime Minister said that the argument that needs to be put forth is that this is a legal battle which has been there for decades together. The battle has been won legally, the court has allowed the permission, and it is a question of faith of crores and crores of Indians, especially Hindus, who've been waiting for this moment for their entire life. Some of them even turning close to 100 years old. For example, it would have been a historical occasion for somebody like an L.K. Advani, who's been part of the Ram Janmabhoomi movement as well. So that is something which needs to take center stage. Any attempt by any party or any attempt by any individual to make this into a controversial issue must be thwarted very effectively. That's the instruction of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister said that people need to stay away from controversial remarks, don't speak out of turn, and make sure that you keep peace and harmony going, because this is actually, Ram is an epitome of peace. He's an epitome of the win of a good over the evil, and he obviously is talking about the arrival of Ram back home as well. So that needs to be celebrated like Diwali, and Diwali is a festival of lights. It's a festival of which is very colourful and joyful. That's what it really remains to be there. But yes, there is an attempt being made by several opposition parties, and the Prime Minister is well aware that several cabinet colleagues also of his are known to make controversial remarks from time to time. So obviously this is a set of warning coming to them at a very crucial juncture, because not just India, Poonam, the entire world is looking forward to the 22nd of January as a very, very important day. The party has organized functions not only across the country but also across the globe in terms of holding it through various embassies across the world as well. So that's something which needs to be celebrated, and any controversy or any attempt to spoil the social fabric of the country must be done away with. That's the instruction of the Prime Minister.
Right, the instruction is very clear that has come to the fore from the Prime Minister. It was meant only for his cabinet colleagues, but now that we have the message reaching out to other BJP leaders, to other quarters as well, can we expect the opposition really to back down? Because the one-point agenda that the opposition has filed against the BJP is that the BJP is trying to make this political. The fact that the Prime Minister has even come out and made this statement is because perhaps he's aware that some within the BJP are trying to gain political mileage. That's the accusation the opposition is making.
Well, the opposition parties have been making this accusation to begin with. They asked as to why the Prime Minister was going there, what was the reason for the Prime Minister to go there. But Prime Minister has been invited by the Teeth Trust, and that's the reason he's going there as well. And the BJP has been wearing Ram Mandir on its sleeve. It's not something which they've come up suddenly just a month or 2 months ago. Their leaders have been part of the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. That is something which they've spoken about. Building a Ram temple has been very much part of the BJP's agenda, both in terms of the Lok Sabha agenda in 2014 as well as in 2019. So that's something which the BJP is countering as far as that is concerned. And they're questioning the opposition parties that they're so fond of the Ram temple. Why is it that none of them have confirmed their attendance for the Ram Mandir consecration, even though a handful of them have already been invited?
Right, Payal, do stay on with me. BJP's Charu Pragya joining us on this broadcast. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We've seen the kind of comments that have come to the fore from within opposition ranks. We had both Mamata Banerjee and Kamal Nath just today, in fact, come out and say that BJP does not have monopoly over Ram Mandir and must not try to gain political mileage out of it. How do you respond to these comments that come to the fore from within the India Alliance?
Good afternoon. And yes, definitely, BJP never said that we have a monopoly over Bhagwan Shri Ram. But Mamta Didi talking about Bhagwan Shri Ram sounds a bit off because she cannot stand a slogan of Jai Shri Ram. She has problems with Jai Shri Ram. As for any leader in the Congress party, they are the ones who are supporters of the term saffron terror. They coined it. They divide Indians into good Hindus and bad Hindus depending on whether they are Ram Bhakts or not. So it's a bit rich, all these statements that are coming from them today when we are about to achieve the biggest historic feat our country has seen since independence. After 550 years, Bhagwan Sri Ram is coming home. And it's a happy, proud moment for us. So much so that all this negativity cannot touch us anymore. Honestly, I think everybody in the BJP is at a point where we only want to celebrate this wonderful day and not indulge in any negativity that the opposition might want to throw our way. See, the fact of the matter is that they never cared. They never cared. Since the beginning till date, whatever they say today, they don't care about Bhagwanji. They don't care about the temple being built or inaugurated. They don't care about the sentiments of all of us today because they were comfortable siding with the DMK, which put down not just Sanatanis but all Hindus. At the same time, for us, for Bharatiya Janata Party, Ram Mandir has been something we have openly talked about since the day our party was born. This is not just about Ram Mandir being on the manifesto for 2019 or previously 2014. It was the very plank on which we started talking at the time of the birth of our party, and we stand firm on all our commitments, whether it was abrogation of 370 or celebrating Bhagwanji coming home today.
Sure, the opposition also must refrain from politics, is what the BJP says. Charu Pragya, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Ayodhya is getting ready. It's 12 days from now when we're going to be seeing the temple town of Ayodhya in all its grandeur when the Pran Pratishtha takes place of the Ram temple of Ram Lalla there. We have dignitaries coming in not just from around the country but around the world. Saints from around the world have already started, in fact, trickling into that temple town. Devotees have been embarked on kilometer-long journeys getting to the temple town on foot to get that to that point where when that Ram temple opens its doors to devotees, they are the ones that are standing outside there. CNN News 18 is on ground in Ayodhya, getting you the mood and the flavor and what awaits the devotees when they do reach there. Take a look at these reports.
Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, has arrived today in the Ayodhya city to review the overall preparedness as far as the consecration of Ram temple is concerned. This is the cavalcade which is currently approaching on the side of the Ayodhya Faizabad road, and in this particular cavalcade there is presence of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. There are other concerned officers as well, including that of Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh, Durga Shankar Mishra as well. So today Yogi Adityanath has a couple of engagements in the Ayodhya city where he is going to hold a couple of meetings. He has also been to multiple places, and in fact what we have been given to understand is that after reviewing the overall preparedness, he is all set to leave for the capital city of Uttar Pradesh. That means he is all set to return for the city of Lucknow by this particular evening. But this is the program as far as Yogi Adityanath is concerned. He is going to hold the meeting with other stakeholders as well today in the city of Ayodhya.
Shifting focus now to breaking news coming in. Amid the debate of Lakshadweep versus Maldives, now the central government has decided to go and further fortify Lakshadweep and its region is concerned. We're now given to understand that the centre is going to be making a new airport at Minikoi. Minikoi is one of the islands near Lakshadweep. The runway length would be around 2,500 meters is what we're given to understand. This would be a dual purpose airport, both for commercial and for security purposes as well. Rajesh Kumar Singh joining us, getting us more details. This is going to be a significant move, isn't it, as far as the new airport is concerned? This is in line with the Prime Minister promoting India's very own tropical paradises as well.
Obviously, Minikoi is going to be a major security as well as tourist hub in next few years, as per Government of India as well as the UT sources. Government of India is very soon going to make a greenfield airport at Minikoi. Minikoi is the second largest island in the entire Lakshadweep group of islands, because in Lakshadweep we have 32 islands. Out of these 32, Minikoi is the second largest island, which is having an area of around 4 square kilometers. So this airport will be having a runway length of 8,200 feet, roughly 2,500 meter. So it would be capable to handle mid-size aircrafts. Obviously, Indian Air Force is going to use it for its fighter base as well as Navy and Coast Guard for their own aircrafts as well as other support systems. But first and foremost, Minicoy is going to challenge the hegemony of Maldives because, Minicoy is very close to Maldives, hardly 120 kilometers away. So, Government of India as well as the UT administration, which is the representative body for the development of the Lakshadweep, the smallest UT of this country, is going to develop Minicoy as a major tourist commercial strategic hub. Because if you remember, this Minicoy is very close to the channel number 9 of the international shipping, and almost 300 ships they travel from Minicoy daily, and considering this value, Minicoy can be converted as a major refueling hub also. This can be a hub for yachts also. The UT government is also planning to develop many major resorts in the area as well as for the normal tourists. So in next few years, Minicoy is going to be a major challenge for the Maldives as a second major island of the Lakshadweep group of islands.
Absolutely. So it is going to be a big boost as far as tourism is concerned. It's also sending out a message specifically to Maldives amid the standoff that we see between the two countries. Brijesh Kumar Singh, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. Shifting focus now to more breaking news that's coming in, and this is concerning Karti Chidambaram, who now has been sent a show cause notice by the Congress unit, by the Tamil Nadu unit of the Congress party. The disciplinary committee chief has now sent out this notice to Karti Chidambaram, asking him to explain why he said that Prime Minister Modi is more popular than Rahul Gandhi. The comment Karti Chidambaram made a few days ago has now put him in the dock within his party, who is now seeking answers from him over it. 10-day deadline has been set for Karti Chidambaram to give his explanation in what context was the comment made, what was he trying to say, and why exactly he made that comment. The disciplinary committee chief of the Tamil Nadu unit of Congress party, K.R. Ramaswamy, is the one who has sent out this notice, setting that 10-day deadline for Karti Chidambaram. Sharon, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Sharon, what was the context of Karti Chidambaram's comment, and when exactly did he make it?
Well, the Congress MP was giving an interview to a channel in Tamil Nadu, a regional channel, where he had in fact been talking about the upcoming Lok Sabha elections and what is really the ground situation as far as the elections are concerned, in that particular contest he in fact went on to say that the Prime Minister is in fact more popular than Rahul Gandhi. And now that is something that has been picked up by the Tamil Nadu Congress committee, and K.R. Swamy, who is in fact the in charge of the disciplinary committee, has sent a notice to Karti Chidambaram to give an explanation as to in what context he had made this particular remark, because with Bharat Nyaya Yatra just around the corner, with elections at the corner, being a Congress leader, is it really appropriate to make such a statement? Is what a comparison shouldn't have been made, is what the notice have in fact been stating. So in the next 10 days he has to in fact give an explanation. This is a show cause notice. In case his explanation or response is not satisfactory, there will be action taken against him, is what has been mentioned in this notice that has been sent to him.
Right, Sharon. Do keep a track of what Karti Chidambaram's response to this is. But for the moment, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. Let's now move on to some more breaking news that's coming in, and this is from West Bengal, where days after the ED team was attacked during raids on TMC leader, now we're given to understand that the Enforcement Directorate's director has gone to meet the governor to apprise him of what exactly has happened, what the investigation in the case stands at. Komalika, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Komalika, the ED director landed in Kolkata this morning. He's now apprising the governor as we speak.
See, this is a very significant step that the ED director has gone and is meeting he has gone in the Raj Bhavan and is meeting the governor. The most significant point is that they are not taking this attack on the ED officers very lightly. Yesterday late night, the ED director arrived in Kolkata, and today in the morning, as what we are getting it from our sources, that he had rounds of meetings
with all the officers there. And from there, he has gone to meet the governor. We know that governor has raised concern about this incident. Now, new theories will come up on through which the ED will actually do investigation in Bengal, like anti-riot kits and other such things. That what we are getting from our sources, that they will now take more protection while they go for a raid in any place in Bengal. That is one side. But the fact is, the way this thing has happened, that has really taken, the ED is not at all happy with that. The ED is very angry with that, and that's quite evident from the statements which ED has given. The sections which have been given in this case are not the right sections. They are very easy sections. That's what their statement was. And also, not only that, as far as Shankar Adda's incident was concerned, their ED has clearly stated that even after calling the police higher officials, the forces came late. So definitely EDE has taken a very strong note of this incident, their own officers being injured, and they are taking up this issue everywhere. Then none other than ED director himself in Calcutta, and right now they are having meeting in Raj Bhavan.
Right, do keep a track of what transpires in that meeting, Kamalika. For the moment, thank you so much for getting us the latest. On that note, slipping into a quick break here on this edition of Nation at 5, but there's lots lined up for you on the other side. Do stay tuned.
With his effortless charm and 3 mega blockbusters, the king of Bollywood is coming to Indian of the Year 2023. 10th January 2024, 6 p.m. onwards on CNN News 18.
Chair Jennifer Homendy said. The piece will be thoroughly inspected, she said, though investigators won't have the recording of the communication of pilots from the cockpit voice recorder or CVR to review. Currently, regulations only require that device to record the last 2 hours of communication, and it was too late when it was recovered, renewing attention on an industry call for longer in-flight recordings.
There was a lot going on the flight deck and on the plane. It's a very chaotic event. The circuit breaker for the CVR was not pulled. The maintenance team went out to get it, but it was right at about the 2-hour mark, and it was completely overwritten. At 2 hours, it re-records over it, so we have nothing from the CVR.
This incident is just the latest in a series of problems Boeing has had with its MAX jets. Crashes in 2018 and 2019 killed nearly 350 people and led to the MAX's worldwide grounding for 20 months. In this instance, Boeing confirmed Monday it had already taken steps to get the grounded planes back in the air. It has shared instructions with airlines about inspecting the grounded fleet, which is a key requirement of regulators before the planes can resume service.
menemukan salah satu dari dua black box yang terpasang.
Yeah, so Boeing stock is down significantly today, driven by the fact that a panel from a 737 MAX 9 blew out unexpectedly mid-flight. So that just obviously has both consumers and investors scared and worried about the future of the company. Boeing shares will probably struggle here for a little bit, as like you said, investors are worried. There's just an emotional reaction even to owning a stock with negative sentiment like this. So we do think it's going to be choppy. There'll be more volatility for the stock, but as they do investigations and we really understand what went wrong here, we think, like I said, this will be a one-time event, which ultimately will help just the stock rebound as we learned that this really isn't a Boeing mass issue. This is quite a bit different than the two crashes that we had with the earlier 737 Maxes, because those were a technological software issue. This is just a mechanical issue within the fuselage. And like I said, from all evidence so far, this is a one-time event. So I think these are quite a bit different. Obviously, the fact this wasn't deadly either helps with that cause. But we see this as just a mechanical breakdown of a part within that fuselage and not a mass issue across the 737 MAX 9s. Due to the fact that we see this as just a one-time event, and a lot of the dip in the stock is just on fear, that's usually the best time to get into a stock because it has become oversold. So we see this as a short-term drop in the stock and a buying opportunity as we begin to get more information that will help the stock rebound. Right now, Boeing is going to be in a little bit of a damage control situation. They'll obviously make press releases and they'll try to articulate the fact that this was just a one-time event and what they will do going forward to help keep this from happening again. But once again, this this will happen. These are not perfect machines. Things can go wrong. So I think as long as they take responsibility and try to look forward what they're going to do next, I think that would just overall just kind of help the sentiment around the stock. I think you do have to look at the suppliers. Like I said, I mentioned Spare Systems. They're the ones that provide the fuselage.
With his effortless charm and 3 mega blockbusters, the king of Bollywood is coming to Indian of the Year 2023. 10th January 2024, 6 p.m. onwards on CNN News 18.
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5 here on CNN News 18 with me, Poonam Burde. The India Alliance is meeting to discuss seat sharing, what it's going to look like. There are 26 parties in the India Alliance bloc. How are they going to be fighting the upcoming Lok Sabha elections? It is round 2 of the talks that began yesterday. Today, we're going to be seeing alliance partners in Maharashtra have that conversation on who gets what and how many seats. All stakeholders, as far as the Congress, NCP and the Uddhav Thackeray faction of Shiv Sena are concerned, all of them are wanting to play a bigger role. But is that really possible? The Uddhav Sena wants to contest on 23 seats in the state, 18 of which they had won last time around in 2019, which is why they do not want to back down. But many of those seats are of the Congress. They are Congress strongholds like South Mumbai. So that is definitely going to be a friction point between the allies. A crucial meeting is underway even as we speak as far as those 3 alliance partners are concerned. What comes out of that, we'll get you more details, but listen in to the political reactions first.
देखिए, आज कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी का मीटिंग नहीं है, महाराष्ट्र की सीट शेयरिंग के बारे में एक महत्वपूर्ण बैठक हम दिल्ली में आज बुला रहे हैं। कांग्रेस और शिवसेना और अभी मुझे पता चला कि एनसीपी को भी बुलाया है, तो हम तीनों बैठेंगे। महाराष्ट्र में 3 प्रमुख पार्टी है और सीट शेयरिंग किस तरह से होना चाहिए महाराष्ट्र में, इस बारे में लगभग चर्चा होगी आज।
एमबीएचा एक घटक दल महाराष्ट्रातील लोकसभेच्या जागांसाठी एकतर्फी दावा करत असल्याबद्दल तुमची चिंता, तुमची काळजी मी समजू शकतो। गेल्या आठवड्यात त्यांच्या प्रवक्त्याने आम्हाला 0 पासून 0 पासून सुरुवात करायला सांगितले। एमबीएसाठी लोकसभा निवडणूक सोपी होणार नाही। कोणीही सार्वजनिक विधाने आणि दावे करू नयेत आणि जर एखादा पक्ष औपचारिक चर्चा पूर्ण होईपर्यंत थांबायला तयार नसेल तर काँग्रेस ही जागावर दावा करू शकते आणि उमेदवारांची घोषणा करू शकते। मला आशा आहे की आजचा हा संदेश आपल्या माध्यमातून मुंबई आणि दिल्लीतील महत्त्वाच्या लोकांपर्यंत पोहोचेल।
My colleagues Sharon and Yasha join us on this broadcast, getting us more perspective, getting us more details of what's transpiring in each of those camps. Yasha, coming to you first, as far as the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena is concerned, they are confident of wanting to contest on 23 seats. They say we won 18 out of those in 2019, so there is absolutely no compromise that's going to be made. But some of those seats are Congress's strongholds, which they will want to hold on to as well.
Absolutely. In fact, this has been a point of contention over the last several weeks in Maharashtra. The case being that of the south, that is the south seat, wherein we see as of now there was Milind Devra. Over the last few days, there has been constant speculation whether that very seat would retain with Milind Devra or it would go to Shiv Sena. Now here, in fact, what was seen earlier was the fact that there were several such statements which were made by Sanjay Raut. Sanjay Raut had clearly pinpointed that they wanted these 23 seats. Now, when you speak of the seat distribution, as of now, when you speak of MVA, there are Shiv Sena is of course split into 2, NCP has split into 2. But what really happens is not only the case in point with Shiv Sena and Congress, but also with NCP and the Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi. Clearly here, Of course, there's a meeting that is taking place. But apart from that, what really happens is that some seats which have been traditionally stronghold of Congress, it is Shiv Sena who wants to claim over those seats. 23 seats was something that Shiv Sena has been very staunch on. Now, this in fact would further affect the elections, not only the Lok Sabha elections but the upcoming Vidhan Sabha elections that will take place end of the year. Because as of now, there was a clear-cut indication by MVA that they would be going in together. In fact, apart from MVA, we had also seen that BJP along with Shiv Sena, that is that of Eknath Shinde and also that of NCP of Ajit Pawar, they had made a clear stance that they are going to contest elections together. However, here, when it comes to the seat-sharing distribution of MVA, now with this stance of Shiv Sena, how would thing really proceed for this? Something that is questionable. Some of the key seats, which includes are that of South, also the key of seat of Northeast. These are some of the key seats which should have to be discussed, because both, be it Congress or for that matter, be it Shiv Sena, they have had leading politicians who want to contest from that very seat. Now, would this in fact further lead to the fact that there'd be some senior leaders who would want to move out? Again, case in point being that of Milind Deora, there was a buzz that Milind Deora would move out of Congress. Now, this was something that was considered as speculative, but only further once there is some clarity on seat distribution is when there'll actually be some clarity as to which leaders would stay in the party or which would in fact plan to move out. Yes.
Absolutely. So the friction points continue, but that meeting that we're talking about between the Aghadi allies, in fact, is happening in the national capital. Sharon, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details on that. Sharon, we've seen several of these meetings take place between different alliance partners. It was the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party yesterday, and we'll talk about that a little later. But talking about the Maharashtra situation, the Congress is going to be wanting to push the envelope, seek more seats, something that the NCP or the Shiv Sena faction may not be okay with.
But the Congress believes that they will have an upper hand this time, because as far as NCP and Uddhav Thackeray faction of Shiv Sena is concerned, both of them doesn't have a party symbol at the moment. And even when we talk about Shiv Sena, when they contested the 23 seats in 2019 Lok Sabha elections, out of which they won 18 seats, but those MPs at the moment are at Eknath Shinde's faction. So the upper hand, it seems, the Congress party believes that they have. Right now, behind me is the Mukul Vasnik's residence, where the meeting is in fact continuing. Just moments from now, Jitendra Awad, in fact, from the NCP, just left from the residence. He has been saying that he is taking a break, but the meeting continues. Right now, the meeting is going on as far as Maharashtra is concerned. It is not going to be a smooth road as far as this particular Maha Vikas Aghadi alliance is concerned, because we have been seeing that Shiv Sena has already said that nothing less than 23 seats is something that they are eyeing for, whereas the NCP and the Congress, when they contested in 2019, the Congress party contested in 25 seats and the NCP contested in 22 seats. And Congress won only 1 seat and NCP was able to manage only 4 seats. So clearly, who is going to get an upper hand in this is something that is going to be flexed by each of these parties. They are going to talk about their vote share. They are going to talk about what is their ground situation when it comes to Maharashtra. All those details are being discussed at the moment. After this meeting, there is going to be a meeting with the Uttar Pradesh leaders from Samajwadi Party. Ram Gopal Yadav is going to in fact arrive here at 6 p.m. And then the Congress leaders from Uttar Pradesh are also going to be part of this meeting. So back to back, we have seen day before yesterday, it was meeting with the RJD. Yesterday, it was meeting with the Aam Aadmi Party. Today, meeting with Maharashtra leaders and with the Uttar Pradesh leaders. So this is something that is going to continue in days, because seat sharing is the priority for India Alliance at the moment, is what the claim of the Congress sources have been.
Right, Sharon, do stay on with us, because there are several meetings that are currently underway. This one is the one about Maharashtra, but there was a Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party meeting that was held yesterday as well. Delhi is something that was discussed. Many within the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party camp say Punjab is off limits, because the Aam Aadmi Party clearly does not want to part away with any seats, given that they have an upper hand there. That is going to be another friction point between Congress and other alliance partners as far as the India Bloc goes. Sharon, we are going to be seeing the second round of talks between the Congress Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party that takes place on the 11th, which is day after tomorrow. Are we going to be seeing actual seat sharing, actual seats being spoken of? Because yesterday we were given to understand only surface level talks were done. It was only a more generic discussion rather than actual seats being spoken of.
Well, Poonam, the fact of the matter is that these meetings are basically an exercise to discuss what is really in the mind of these alliance partners. Aam Aadmi Party has in fact told them they are willing to have an alliance in Delhi. They are also in fact seeking an alliance in Goa, Gujarat, Assam as well, and in Haryana. As far as Punjab is concerned, both of them have been saying that they are not going to have an alliance. But at the end of the day, they also want to know that what is going to be the ramification if they don't come in an alliance, who is going to get the benefit. All these were discussed in the meeting. So this was just a surface level, like you mentioned, was a surface level meeting that happened yesterday. There's going to be another round of meeting, but even then I don't believe what the sources have been saying, doesn't seem that in that particular meeting also the deal will be sealed. At the end of the day, what we are hearing is that it is going to be the party high command that comprises of the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, Sonia Gandhi. All of these leaders will be speaking to the head of these leaders, head of these parties, and then a decision will be taken. The negotiation will be done. This is just a legwork, some sort of an exercise that is going on, is what the sources have been suggesting. And that is why probably even after Maharashtra meeting is going on here right now, on what the sources have been suggesting is that there is likely a meeting of Sonia Gandhi, Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray on 14th. So all this, is going to be discussed at that level. The deal will be sealed only at that point of level, is what the sources have been saying. This is just to know what is really in the mind of these alliance partners. What are they asking for? What are the numbers that is there in the mind? So this is just a legwork that is going on, is what the sources have been saying.
And many within the alliance actually believe that it's too late for such exercises to be done. We really have to get going as far as Lok Sabha elections go. That's a reminder that some of the alliance partners has also come out and given. For the moment, Sharon, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. Let's listen in to some more political reactions that are now coming in.
इतना बड़ा जब ये गठबंधन बनता है, और गठबंधन बनना कोई मामूली बात नहीं होती, बहुत बड़ी चुनौती होती है। सबको कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना पड़ता है, तब जाकर गठबंधन बनता है। सबको त्याग करना पड़ता है।
एक पार्टी भी अपनी सीटों पे टिकट तय करती है तो हर सीट पे कई उसके लिए जो हैं दावेदार होते हैं। तो अगर एक ही पार्टी होती है तो भी दिक्कत होती है कि किसको दोगे नहीं दोगे। अगर दो पार्टियां हैं, तीन पार्टियां, तो थोड़ी तो दिक्कत होती है।
इंडी गठबंधन ही नहीं है, ऊपर से संतरा है और नीचे से फांक है अंदर में, संतरे की तरह। ऊपर से छिलका सुंदर लगता है और नीचे फांक है। तो ये फांक अब बिखर गया है, छिलका उखड़ गया है। अब वो कोई भी यात्रा कर ले, कांग्रेस को यही गठबंधन ही सत्यानाश करेगा।
नहीं, हम तो कोशिश कर रहे हैं सब मिलके काम करें और जो इंडिया अलायंस की जो एकता है वो बरकरार रखें और सभी नेता एक वॉइस में बात करें और एक दूसरों के खिलाफ बात करने में कोई फायदा नहीं है। तो मेरा यही सबसे विनती है, जैसा हम एकजुट होकर काम करते आए हैं, आइंदा भी काम करना जरूरी है और वो काम कर रहे हैं। तो मैं चाहूँगा कि 2024 के इलेक्शन में हमारी सबकी एकता रहेगी, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। तो हम अपना पूरी कोशिश और ताकत लगा के बीजेपी को सबक सिखाएंगे।
Unfortunate news coming in of music maestro Ustad Rashid Khan passing away at the age of 55. The announcement was made just a short while ago by West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who visited the hospital where Ustad Rashid Khan was undergoing treatment for cancer. Komalika, my colleague, joining us, getting us more details. Komalika, we had the Chief Minister come out and express condolences just a short while ago. She even came out and said that it's unfortunate and she still can't believe that the music maestro is no more.
Yeah, definitely, it's a big loss for the music, for the society, and definitely for the entertainment world, because he was Ustad Rashid Khan, and the Chief Minister herself. She went in the hospital, and she actually came out and declared that Rashid Khan, Ustad Rashid Khan, is no more, and his age was 55 years. So he was very young, and he had cancer. He was undergoing treatment in hospital for a long time. And what we are coming to know that tomorrow his body will be there in Ravindra Sadan, where everybody will pay homage to Ustad Rashid Khan, and then he will be given guard of honor by the state government, because he is a legend. Obviously, he is a singing maestro. So definitely, it's a very sad day for everyone here in Bengal, and obviously he has so good music. He has given good music, good his voice for good songs. So definitely, it's a big loss, and Chief Minister herself was there. She stood by the family, and the guard of honor will be given to Rashid Khan tomorrow.
Kamalika, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. Unfortunate news coming in of the music maestro passing away. On that note, we're slipping into a quick break on this edition. Back in just a few minutes.
That had the breakdown here. So as you go further down the chain, that will affect, and you probably will see some turnover in the suppliers for Boeing. That's probably where you're going to see the biggest hit, where Boeing is forced to move away from a specific supplier because they're the one that ultimately takes that blame. Anytime you're flying in the air, I can imagine that brings a lot of emotion. So even from people that are on the ground, it makes them more worrisome about their air travel. So that will have an effect short term on just the entire airline industry, without a doubt. But as an investor, I see this as just a short term issue, which ultimately will lead to the stock rebounding as they kind of figure this out and find solutions to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Shares of Boeing fell 7% at midday trading Monday, though were down more earlier, following the temporary grounding of some of the company's best-selling 737 MAX jets by the U.S. aviation regulator. This came after an accident Friday, where a cabin panel ripped off an Alaska Airlines jet while in midair shortly after takeoff, forcing pilots to return to the airport in Portland, Oregon, where the flight originated. The plane, with 171 passengers and 6 crew on board, landed safely. Shares of the airline fell in morning trading but were near break-even by midday, while those of Spirit Aerosystems, which makes the plane part in question, were 8% lower at lunchtime, which was better than their performance at the opening bell. The 60-pound part of the fuselage that came off covers an optional exit door. It was recovered on Sunday by a Portland school teacher who found it in his backyard. U.S. National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy said. The piece will be thoroughly inspected, she said, though investigators won't have the recording of the communication of pilots from the cockpit voice recorder or CVR to review. Currently, regulations only require that device to record the last 2 hours of communication, and it was too late when it was recovered, renewing attention on an industry call for longer in-flight recordings.
There was a lot going on the flight deck and on the plane. It's a very chaotic event. The circuit breaker for the CVR was not pulled. The maintenance team went out to get it, but it was right at about the 2-hour mark, and it was completely overwritten. At 2 hours, it re-records over it, so we have nothing from the CVR.
This incident is just the latest in a series of problems Boeing has had with its MAX jets. Crashes in 2018 and 2019 killed nearly 350 people and led to the MAX's worldwide grounding for 20 months. In this instance, Boeing confirmed Monday it had already taken steps to get the grounded planes back in the air. It has shared instructions with airlines about inspecting the grounded fleet, which is a key requirement of regulators before the planes can resume service.
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5 here on CNN News 18. Visuals coming in from Ahmedabad in Gujarat, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is meeting with UAE President at the Ahmedabad airport. There we are going to be seeing a road show with the UAE President that the Prime Minister is going to undertake. There is a bilateral that is planned for later in the evening at 7 p.m. perhaps, when the two leaders talk business, when they sit down. But this is a road show that is going to be ushering in a new phase, a new era of ties between the two countries, between India and the UAE, ties which have been strengthened in the recent past. The bonhomie there on display, a warm hug being exchanged between the two leaders. Abhishek, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Abhishek, explain to our viewers the significance of this roadshow. It was only first seen when the Prime Minister Modi held such a roadshow in Gujarat itself a couple of years ago with former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe.
Well, we know that Shinzo Abe and the kind of chemistry and the friendship Prime Minister Modi had cherished with him. And the same thing will be displayed when tomorrow Prime Minister Modi will be having that with the UAE leadership. We know that India and UAE have had a very close ties, and since the last few years, the UAE's significance for India has increased from beyond being just a petroleum resource provider. We know that a lot of millions of Indian diaspora live in UAE in a peaceful and harmonious way. A lot of Indian business interests have also been there. UAE is one of the top investors in India, and over the years, the UAE has made significant investment in sectors such as energy, infrastructure, real estate, and technology. Last time in year 2022, the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority had announced about $5 billion in India's National Investment Fund. So that kind of investment is something that India is looking forward to having with the UAE government. At the same time, about 3.4 million Indian diaspora live in UAE, contributing in the economic and social life of UAE, contributing in all the infrastructure and development projects in UAE. And that is something that has brought the two leaders together. And tomorrow, when the road show will be there, Indian Prime Minister will also be sharing the entire journey of the road show with one of the most populous and influential Islamic nation. Remember, a lot of time we see the criticism in the international media that Indian government or the BJP has been the indiscriminate, and they have been biased towards minority communities. But when we see UAE leaders themselves coming to India and sharing their stage with Prime Minister Modi, and that too for a road show, that kinds of allays all apprehension and puts an end to all the speculation and biased reporting that happens against Indian Prime Minister's image or against Indian government's image against minority communities in the international media as well.
Absolutely, and these are visuals coming in on our screens that our viewers can see. The roadshow has begun of the Prime Minister and the UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. We saw the warm hug that was exchanged at the airport there in Ahmedabad. It's a 3.5 kilometer stretch that we are going to be seeing where the roadshow is going to take place. At the end of the roadshow, of course, there is going to be bilaterals. So from bonhomie to business, we are going to be seeing all of it as far as India and UAE go in the next hour and a half or so. What's likely to be on agenda as far as the bilateral meeting goes? Abhishek, are we expecting any specific agreements that are going to be discussed, any specific pacts that could be signed?
Current geopolitical situation, there are a couple of things that would be in the mind of both the leaders. Of course, the Israel-Hamas conflict is something that has interrupted the entire geopolitical situation in that region. India was also in talk with UAE to make a green corridor that would pass through UAE and that would connect India through European markets. So that is something that corridor is something that India can talk about. The interest of Indian diaspora and how they can be better, the more law can be made to easy to make their life easy and to limit the exploitation of Indian workers in certain industry and by certain companies in UAE is also something that the two countries can talk about. We know that India and UAE, they have also been engaging in various joint military exercises. So the two countries have transcended their relationship from beyond energy security provider to strategic collaborators as well. So in that context, also some kind of discussion can take place. Green energy is another area where the two sides have shown keenness to collaborate. That can be in the sector of biofuel, in the sector of green energy or hydrogen energy. UAE has a lot of funds that wants to invest to a country which can scale up the production of renewable energy machines or renewable energy resources. So Indian manufacturing industry can benefit from certain investment opportunity that can come from the UAE government or certain companies from UAE. That is one area of discussion that the two leaders can have. And of course, there have been cultural exchange and people-to-people connect between the two sides, and that will also be one of the focus areas when the Prime Minister Modi and UAE leadership will be talking to tomorrow.
Absolutely. Trade is also going to be an important factor. The bilateral trade that India has with UAE, with the Middle East there is also something that is of extreme significance. We've often heard criticism of the Prime Minister here in India of the government being accused of being a majoritarian one. So this kind of bonhomie that we see now with one of the most popular leaders, one of the most famous leaders of the Arab world, definitely bridges the gap there, doesn't it?
Has been one of the key trade partner of India as well. And the economies of both the countries have grown significantly. UAE has been a provider of petroleum fuels to India and precious metals, machinery and textiles. These are the things that India has been exporting to UAE. Agricultural product is something that India has been exporting to UAE. And UAE has been exporting India basically oil, minerals and metals. Now, these traditional partnerships are going to be exploring the new avenues of opportunity that will be renewable energy resources, that can be, the areas of sensitive technologies also. UAE has significantly invested in India in the pension funds and infrastructure, real estate, energy and technological sector as well.
Yes.
Indian companies have also made substantial investment in the UAE, particularly the sectors like information technology, healthcare, construction and hospitality. And thousands of Indian workers also work in these sectors in UAE. Also strategic significance of these two countries' relationship we have already talked. So these are the issues that is going to be of significance when Mohammed bin Al Nahyan will be having a
Yes.
bilateral discussion with Prime Minister Narendra Modi tomorrow.
Absolutely. It's going to be down to business in a short while from now. It's bonhomie now. Payal also joining us, getting us more details on this. Payal, the political aspect of this is also significant, isn't it? We've often had people here in India, rivals of the BJP, talk about the Prime Minister being a majoritarian and authoritarian one. Now that we see such kind of bonhomie between an Arab world leader and the Prime Minister, warm hugs there being shared, that goes on to quash this kind of narrative that is being set as well.
Yes, the UAE president coming here, India in fact laying a red carpet welcome for him, given the fact that the Prime Minister himself, Narendra Modi himself, going there at the airport to receive him. And of course, Ahmedabad, the city which is very, very known for its cultural heritage, showing its best efforts, and you can see the roadshow which is happening over there. Also, if I remember very accurately, the news, it was just about last year when Boris Johnson, the then UK, Prime Minister, had also come down to Ahmedabad and a similar kind of a reception while he was. This is something which the actually.
We'll try and reconnect that line with Payal, who's getting us more perspective on this. But these are visuals coming in from Ahmedabad. It's a 3 to 3.5 kilometer stretch that the Prime Minister is undertaking this roadshow on. We did see warm exchange of hugs at the airport when the Prime Minister was personally there to receive the President of UAE, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. We are going to be seeing the two leaders sit down for negotiations for bilaterals in a short while from now. It was scheduled to be at 7 p.m. but this roadshow is going to go on for about an hour or so. Editor of Swaraj magazine, Tushar Gupta, joining us here, getting us more perspective. Tushar, thank you so much for speaking with us. How would you see this kind of roadshow that is being undertaken by the Prime Minister? It also goes on to quash the narrative that many within the opposition ranks are trying to build about this particular dispensation being a majoritarian or authoritarian one.
Absolutely. The roadshow being carried out in Gujarat, that will be carried out in Gujarat soon, is a testament to the kind of Middle East relationships this government has carved out in the last 10 years. While the alliance has, kept hampering over the narrative of this government being anti-minority or not doing enough for the Muslims of India, the kind of fraternity both governments have shown in the recent years, it's a testament to the growing stature of the Indian government across the world also, but more importantly, the Indian diplomatic relationship within the Middle East as well.
We believe we've lost that line with Tushar Gupta. We'll try and reconnect that audio line, getting us more perspective on how significant this visit at this roadshow that we currently see on our screens is. With that, it's a wrap from my side. We'll continue this coverage. Shivani, my colleague, joins you next.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan in India and all set to participate in a mega roadshow with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Ahmedabad. Now, this is the UAE President's fourth visit to India since Prime Minister Modi came to power in 2014 and the bilateral relationship between the two countries took off. Under Modi's leadership, engagements with the Gulf have increased. Previously, it was a buyer-seller kind of a relationship as India buys energy, petroleum products and chemicals from them. Now it's a partnership which focuses on energy and food security. The way Prime Minister Narendra Modi refers to Sheikh Zayed as his brother also speaks volumes, not just about the Modi-MBZ bonhomie, but also how the two countries are coming closer. It's also an important sign of reciprocation by the visiting state head to do this roadshow in Modi's home state at the time of the vibrant Gujarat summit, a flagship event started when Narendra Modi was the chief minister of the state. Prime Minister Modi's deep friendship with Middle Eastern countries is an important element of his foreign policy, but it also has a domestic message. Modi is anti-Muslim is the narrative that has been the strongest criticism against him for the last 10 years. In fact, from the day he was announced as the prime ministerial candidate for the BJP in 2013. Now, with Lok Sabha elections approaching, the intensity of these attacks will only increase. So can this bonhomie between the leaders of both India and UAE be the bridge over the divisions, whether in the minds of certain people or actually on ground? We'll take that question to our experts joining us in just a bit. But let me take you through the deep relationship between India and UAE and how under Narendra Modi government this relationship has